welcome to the program. This is the Job Show International on the Job TV. I am Abimbola Adewale in New York. Of course, you must agree with me that unemployment in the largest black nation in the world has become alarming. I'm talking about Nigeria, Africa's most populous nation and the largest economy, has a huge unemployment problem in Africa as we speak. Nearly a quarter of the population is out of work, like 20% is underemployed. And of course, the young people aged 15 to 35, the figures are grim. Talking about 54.4% of them are without jobs doing anything. And of course, this is alarming to a government that is proactive. The Nigerian present unemployment rate is expected to hit 35.5% in 2020 as we speak. This is the only show that will give you the breakdown analysis of all employment situation around the world by the job man himself. Today on the program, we'll also be looking at jobs opportunity across the globe. We are definitely going to look at what I call interesting and rosy job opportunity. We will go straight to Roma, that is in Australia. We'll give him more opportunities in Australia. We will look at community engagement support worker needed in Australia, and of course we'll also look at New York, where we are in Brooklyn. We're looking at farmers market operator needed in Brooklyn in New York as well. Then today on the program as well, we will look at more opportunity talking about HR and operations manager that is in Brooklyn in New York as we speak as well. We'll also go and still stick to New York, more of vacancies that will come from this axis as we speak. We also look at the manager foundation relation, that's the position of a foundation relation manager is also needed in New York. And of course, if you are still wondering where exactly are we also looking at, of course we'll also be looking at the position of a career pathway navigator in Brooklyn as well. This is interesting because it comes with good package like the health benefit. We've got the dental, vision, retirement plan, and of course the pay time off is also available for you if you definitely can pick up that job as a career path navigator. Of course, we look at the management assistant that is needed in Europe. Talking about the Netherlands, there is a firm in Netherlands called the Golda ZH needed. They are seeking for management assistant. What else can you ask for if we can get you jobs in Europe as well? Of course, we also look at the Horn of Africa. They are looking for a director. Talking about Kiambu County in Kenya. Kiambu County in Kenya. They're also seeking for the director, the Horn of Africa. I love that position. If you want it, then you must stick around to get those the full details of that job information as we speak. Of course, we'll also be sticking around in Kiambu County in Kenya, talking about the carbon manager. Carbon manager is also needed in Kenya. You need to find out what exactly is carbon manager. What is it called? What is the definition of that position? Of course, the last but not the least on the show is definitely going to be a country lead. A country lead is also needed in Nairobi in Kenya. All of this for you today on the Job Show International, on the Job TV. My name remains Abimbola Adewale. When I tell you that every job is always a part-time, then you must know that it's time for you to click on the like button and invite and share this information to all family and friends. The only show that will give you all possible job information is right on your screen. What else can we see? Let's take a break. My guest today on the show, you will be amazed. We'll be looking at critically what exactly is the unemployment situation in the largest black nation in the world. Talking about the only country that flies the green, white grain, Nigeria. Every job is always a part-time. Stick around. Yeah, hello. And of course, you're welcome back to the show. This is the Job Show International, and
Yeah,
I'm,
good.
I am excited to inform you that we have my guest from Lagos, Nigeria, Daniel Anaze. Daniel Anaze, as you can see on the screen, is a seasoned journalist and, of course, a colleague in the industry as well as we speak. Daniel, good evening. If you can hear me, I'm talking to you from New York. How are you today?
Oh, thank you, Billboard. Thank you very much. Even though it's a past, this is about Nigerian time, um, um, 12:38 a.m. in the morning here.
Oh.
So I don't know what time is it over in New York, but let me say good day to New Yorkers.
Yes, it's 7:30 p.m. as well in New York as we speak.
Wow, that's a great one.
Okay, then that I must say that millions of people are listening to you, and of course they will hear you as you speak tonight. So you will be speaking in the capacity of a journalist and of course a Nigerian as well to give us the breakdown of the unemployment situation in the country as we speak. Let's get down to business tonight. I must say that by according to the NBS that says that unemployment in the country will definitely hit 3.5%. That's 33.5% by 2020, and this is 2020. If I will definitely say that, where are we as we speak in terms of unemployment in the country, Dan?
Um, well, thank you very much, Bimbo, and I must say thank you to the Job Show. The Job Show has been in the vanguard of advocating for employment of Nigerians, and now that is international program listening all over the world is a very good program. Now, back to the issue of this unemployment in Nigeria. As of 2019, the unemployment rate in the country is put at 6.1%. And then if the NBS, that is the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, is saying that by year 2020 is going to be um, 35
33.5%.
percent. Yeah,
Yes.
right. You said?
33.5%.
Yes, if the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics is saying that by year 2020 is going to be at 3.5%, they're absolutely right because now between February that or let me say March that the Nigerian economy was locked down, there have been massive unemployment following the outbreak of the coronavirus pandemic, which is all over the world. Nigeria is hit, and don't forget the fact that Nigeria is a monolithic economy that will depend on oil because crude oil happens to be our source of huge major source of revenue. So a lot of people depend on oil to move. As I speak with you, about sometime last week, this week that just ended, news came to town that Aliko Dangote, and it's out there in the domain, in the public domain, that Aliko Dangote, one of the richest, the major employers of workforce in the country, has downsized about 3,000 of his staff. So you know what that is. So when you put out 3,000 people out of jobs, this is notwithstanding the banking sector that have also toned down the workforce and also other companies. As I speak with you, even in the industry, in the media industry, there have been serious downsizing, major newspapers, because business are no longer there. A lot of them, they are trying to keep afloat. So they've sat and sat now. A job that should be done by 4 or 5 people is being done by one person. So you are the reporter, you are the sub-editor, you are the graphic designer, you are, a bunch of old things. So definitely, at the moment, the unemployment rate in the country has skyrocketed. You understand? So I will not give a figure because until the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics could collate the data and they put it out there. But as we stand, the unemployment rate following the job loss in the country, it should be sitting the 33.5% as projected by the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics.
Okay, let me quickly read this to you, Dan. It says here, the statistics shows the unemployment rate in Nigeria from 1999 to 2019.
Yes.
In 2019,
yes.
In 2019, the unemployment rate in Nigeria was at approximately 6.11%.
You're very right.
Yeah, in 2019. Let me ask you, what exactly went wrong? In 2015, it was 5.31%. In 2016, it was 6.24%. In 2017, it was 6.01%. In 2018, it was 6.03%. This is 2020, and someone or an organization, a department, a unit is predicting that it's going to hit 35.5%. Let's ignore 2020. Let's look at it from 2015 to 2019. What exactly went wrong? Can this alarming rate, can it be allude to the pandemic, or what do you think? Have there been economic issues in the country before the pandemic?
Yes, prior to the pandemic, you don't forget that Nigeria was just coming out of an economic comatose, before the pandemic came. So with the pandemic, the economy again went back into crisis and all of those things. So already the country manager, that is the federal government, they were having this challenge of trying to put the economy, make it work, and all those things. So there has been economic challenge in the country that has resulted in job loss. 2018, there were warning signs that even the banking sector will be affected, which you have seen, and don't forget the fact that there has not been constant power supply. So a lot of companies are producing, via alternative power supply, which is generator, they burn diesel, and all of that, and that is cost effective on them. So in order for any investor to recoup their investment, they need to put up measures that will help them to recoup the investment. Hence, they will resort to less labor to maximize profit. So there has been economic challenge between 2018 to 2019, particularly in 2019. It was not, and don't forget about it was also the year of election that we had. The 2018 to the 2019 was a bit of an election. So a lot of these petitions were stashing up money to run the elections and all of. So everywhere was in disarray. So a lot of people lost their job. And as I speak, as of 2019, even the Nigerian Employers Consultative Association, like, the unemployment rate with
Hello?
Hello, are you with me?
Yes, I am with you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, are you with me?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
So, the Nigerian Employers Consultative Forum, NECA, pegged as of November 2019 pegged the unemployment rate at 23.1%. So if as at November, you can imagine. So we are near the 33.5. If before the year was, definitely we may even surpass the 33.5% projected by the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, because as I speak with you, daily people are losing their job. People don't have means of that. A lot of people are at home for the past 2 months. They've not worked. They've not done. People are working from home. Some people were asked to work from home, and all of a sudden they've told them, okay, there's no point for you to work again. So there's massive job cut, and there's no way. The government, they are not doing anything. Rather, I think during the weekend, or Thursday, the Senator Ali Dume was saying that, look, this country is in disarray, that the legislators are collecting jumbo salaries, jumbo packages, and then the people are suffering. They are dying of hunger. There is massive job loss everywhere. The youth are roaming about the streets, nothing. So what do they do? There is no point that he has argued and advocated that the presidential system is cost effective for the country. There's no point running the presidential system. And I think I'm aligning with him, because he's kind of trying to point the country to the right direction.
Okay, there is no way where people talk about job information or job analysis without critically looking at the economic situation, political situations, and of course how interpretation of economic breakdown gets into putting food on the masses table. That is the key point, where people talks about economic situation and it does not interpret to people to live very well, that can afford 3 square meal a day, then there's a foundational problem in such economy. That leads me to the situation of every job seekers, employees, entrepreneur in Nigeria as we speak. This episode is going to be in series. So what that means is I'm going to hold you down for like 20 minutes. Then probably next week we bring you back again to talk to us about the continuation of this unemployment situation in Nigeria as we speak. But let me ask you.
All right.
Let me ask you this. As we speak, every country has its own peg in terms of salary. For example, in New York, in New Jersey, every employee must work home with $15 per hour. In southern US, it's $11, $9, and all of that. But let me ask you, what exactly is the take home? The take home of an employee in Nigeria as we speak. How much does an employee takes home in Nigeria as we speak? That's because if you must, let me quickly say
this. You and I know. You can say that I kind of laughed, and because that question is a very very it's a very funny question, if I say, because if you are looking at what is the take-home average take-home pay of an employee in Nigeria? Now, an average Nigeria does not earn up to $1. The exchange rate as we speak now is about 480 naira to $1 in Nigeria, if I'm not mistaken. I stand corrected.
Go ahead.
So, at the CBN rate, I think the CBN rate is around $450 per dollar or thereabouts. So when you go into the black market, see the prices varies and all of it. So no average Nigerian earn, up to, if you calculate it, up to $1 per hour in the country. And people work, let's say, 8 hours from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock or thereabouts every day. And now, if we are looking at the unemployment, don't forget the fact we are also looking at both the skilled and unskilled labor as well in the country. And bulk of the people today that make up the workforce, you talk about the banking sector, you talk about the insurance sector, you talk about the oil and gas, the energy, the power, the media, the corporate, and all of those things. A lot of people that can make up. And then you talk about the bricklayer, the plumbers, and all of those people. These are the skilled and unskilled labor, the non-professionals and all of those things. So how much they earn? For you to employ the average bricklayer to come and mold your house in the country, I think a bricklayer earns for the day 4,000 naira or 5,000 naira, while the supporting staff which we call the nursing person who supply the block and the cement earn about 3,000 naira. Now when you divide 3,000 naira by 4, let's say 430 naira, which is to $1, you discover that in a day, how much? They don't earn up to $10. It's not up to $10. So, which an average employee earn per hour. So, somebody will work for about 8 or 9 or 10 hours, and then he's going on with 3,000. And when they go with it, and out of this 3,000 naira, they're going to feed themselves. Out of this 3,000 naira, they're going to transport themselves. Some of them travel up to about 20 kilometers or more to go and eat for this living. People leave the mainland and go to the island. Now where constructions are going on is in Lekki on the island and all those things. So people leave from downtown Yanopaja, Igondo, even downtown from Ogun State before moving down to those places. I moved from this part of Lagos to the other end of Lagos, which is from Igondo to Lekki every day. That I go there. I see this thing, and at the end of the day, you see people don't earn up to even they don't earn up to $10 per day, maybe let's say per hour. So the average pay for the pay take home pay for an average Nigerian. Take for instance somebody working about a graduate earning about 30,000 naira for a month. So when you divide, you further do the calculation, you divide it, you discover that it's not up to $10 per hour. So what are we talking about? So the country, Nigeria, the leaders have failed, and both the president, the governors, and everybody, they keep telling us, and when they are coming to power, they tell us that, we are going to create jobs. I'm surprised that even the presidency of President Muhammadu Buhari, and I hold them, and that is why I keep challenging them, that when they were coming to power, they said, okay, they're going to provide XYZ job, millions of jobs within the first tenure that they're going to serve and all of it. Until today, until recently, they are saying they are creating 774,000 jobs. That means one person from one local government. What is the population of Nigeria? Nigeria is believed to have about over 180 million people as population. So if you're picking out of 180 million, now you're picking 774,000 people to be employed. Where do you keep the rest people? Now, if we should give or take, out of this 180, the aged people between 60 years who are of retirement age, maybe from 65 to 100, they are not up to 10 million. I'm not mistaken. And then children, give or take, you put them between from 0 age to about 5 years or 10 years that cannot fend for themselves. Whether you put them, okay, they are about 20 million or less than 30 million. Then when you add this, okay, 20 million plus 5, that's about 50 million. Then the remaining 130 million population, where do you see that? These are the active people who should work, and yet there are no jobs. A number of them. If you check it again, break it down again, and you discover that the number of people who are working now is not commensurate with what they are earning. And also the number of people who are out of job is much more. That is why we keep having banditry, we keep having criminal armed robbery and everything in the country. So the government of Nigeria has failed its people.
Okay, I'm sure you actually took it away from me, because I was asking you about the consequences of unemployment in any country or economy as we speak, but we're talking about Nigeria as we speak. And I also need you to, you also talked about one of the consequences is migration from the rural to the urban area, and that will create more
Yes,
more problem, more
yes,
hits
yes,
on that particular
yes,
urban
yes.
area.
As I speak,
Yeah, you also talked
as I
about,
speak with
yeah,
you,
you also talk.
even amidst the lockdown, at a point there was a time we began to hear of some group of young chaps who pride themselves as no salary boys. We had 1 million boys. We have various groups. These are young people who should have channeled their energy or be engaged positively, but because they are not engaged, and now they resort to criminality and all of those
Yeah,
things. So now the government is not.
that brings me to my next question. You also talked about an average graduate. I'm still going to ask you, what does it mean to be a graduate? That's a different question. But an average graduate
Okay.
will definitely walk away with 30,000 naira. And 30,000 naira in my own conversion here to dollar is like $80 every month. Where in the US here, when you work, you go home with, if you can work 8 hours, 10 hours, you are sure of going home with a minimum of $100 every day. So we're looking at probably 45,000 naira every day that you walk home with, as if you work in New York or New Jersey. I haven't said that. You also talked about, you did talk about the unemployment situation is critical, and I'm going to ask you this as we're talking about the largest black nation in the world. Do you feel or do you think that the unemployment situation, the problem of unemployment situation, it is not economical but political? What do you think?
I would say it is both. It is both political and economical. Now, political in the sense that because the country is managed by politicians
Okay.
who are voted into position of leadership, who supposedly are believed to have the capacity to manage the economy. Now, but because they are not, and they make policies that is meant to drive the economy and then ensure that the economy is up and doing. But because they are not doing all this, rather they are all about their own selfish interest, their own pocket. Yes, they don't turn out anybody. I mentioned that a senator, a serving senator currently from the northeast, particular Borno, in the person of Senator Ali Ndume, has said that, look, this present government has failed the people. This present ruling party, the All Progressive Congress, have failed the people. So it shows, and the country today is in disarray. The party does not have its footing. There's crisis in the party, intra-party crisis. So they are not content. They are trying to settle themselves, put their acts together. So the country is not having any focus of direction. And don't forget the fact that in the last 2-3 years, we've been having issue over who occupied the seat of power, who is actually the Nigerian president. And people have been asking questions, is it Buhari? Oh, it's not Buhari. So a lot of people are confused. Now, back to the question you asked, if you look at it, it is both political and economic as well. Now, economic is important because when the politicians are not putting the right policies in the right place, definitely the economy will not be thrive. And the economic drivers are the corporates, the bankers, the investors. For instance, if you as an investor, before you left Nigeria for the United States, I know you had your hands into some investment, and you know what it takes and what it costs you and all of those things before you finally migrated from Nigeria to the US and you're doing what you are currently doing. And you can see what you do in America today, which you were doing in Nigeria before, and you check the value, the financial or monetary value of what you are getting. It's so that it is way, way, way beyond what is obtainable in Nigeria. So hence, we are seeing the surge in migration from the country out to other developed countries like America, Britain, Germany, Holland, and the rest of them.
Okay,
and all of those things. So and we'll keep having it until our leaders put things are right.
I really don't know the qualification of the president as we speak, but I'm aware of the qualification of the vice president, and I'm also aware that he headed an economic team for the country, and that takes me to the credibility and the content of the people in that team. If we have so much issues, so much economical issues and loss of directions in that country economically as we speak, then questions should be asked about the economic team headed by the vice president. What exactly is the team, is the economic team of that country doing to see that? Because it seems to me and everybody that cares to know or listen that the country is not moving forward as we speak. Please, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this.
No. You are very right. The economic team, which was sometime last year put in place, inaugurated by the president and headed by the vice president, consists of seasoned economists. You have Professor Thomas Oludo, a former CBN governor. You have Professor Toyin Shalan of Lagos Business School, an astute economist, well-known, well-traveled, well-versed in world economies and all of that. You have Bismarck Riwane, the Chief Executive Officer of Financial Derivatives, and other people, other eggheads, economic eggheads who are on that team now. Now, one may be tempted to ask, okay, if we have these people, these renowned and resourceful individuals in the economic team who have one way or the other contributed to world economy, help them develop the economies, and why is Nigeria economy not going? Like I said, it's political. A president once said, you can advise, and I am at liberty to take your advice or not. So that is what we are having. So these guys can come up with economic ideas, policies, and it's left for the government. The challenge we have in Nigeria is that we are very good at policy formulation, but we are very poor at policy implementation. So that is the Nigerian problem. So if I tell you, Nigerian policymakers or lawmakers, they can come up with 100 laws in a day, but implementing that law and making it work is a challenge, and that is why you see that the country is in progression and will continue to progress.
Okay, consequences of unemployment as regards the largest black nation in the world, talking about Nigeria. And of course, if you are watching, I am discussing issues related to unemployment situation in Nigeria with Daniel Anaze. Daniel Anaze is a journalist and of course works with the Guardian newspaper. And of course, he has definitely been in the sector of writing about jobs, businesses, and finance for for so long. I'm excited and happy to have him on the show. We've been talking about the unemployment situation in the country, and we have actually used one of the statements from the NBC that says Nigerian employment rate will definitely hit 33.5% come 2020, and that's what we are looking at. Let's look at the consequences. We did talk about the migration from the urban, from the rural to the urban. You talked about the high rate of crime that will definitely hit the country as we speak. Increase in the number of dependent people, high level of poverty. Let's talk more about the goods and services, production of goods and services. We all know that talking about independence, of course, you can't be talking about independence when Nigeria got independence 1960. You talk about Ghana 1957, we talk about Singapore, Malaysia, and all sorts. And you find out that Nigeria is far behind this great nation that we all go there, travel, and see the beautiful places and the economic value that those countries have created. My question is, what do you think from the immediate time of independence, 1960, to the time where we got our democracy right in 1999? We had Obasanjo. From Obasanjo, we had Yaradua. From Yaradua, we had Jonathan. From Jonathan, we have the President Muhammadu Buhari. And if you must know that we did argue that one of the consistent policy or restructuring that we had in any of this administration was the time of Obasanjo, and it was transferred to Yaradua to continue that transformation. I'm going to take you back, Daniel. What do you think went wrong from the time of Yaradua to this present administration that everything became in disarray?
Well, like you rightly said, during the time of President former President Olusegun Obasanjo, which was in 1999 to 2007, he was able to assemble professionals, in the likes of Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, and other, economic. Experts who at some one point or the other applied their trade with renowned organizations across the globe, like the World Bank, IMF, and all of that. So these guys understand, because Nigeria goes to these organizations and to seek for loans, and so they understand the precarious nature of the Nigerian economy. And don't forget the fact that we are coming out of the military rule then into a civil rule after almost 20-something years or thereabout. And now we are having a civilian government. So and Obasanjo having been a military head of state, understand what it is. So he understands the economy. Don't forget the fact that he, at a point in his ahead of it, he decided what we call a feeding nation. So you understand that agri is the basic thing, and then also that was why he advocated for that. Now he passed on the baton to a late Umaru Yar'Adua, and then who also came up with his own 7-point agenda, which was clear what he wanted to do. But, you know, death couldn't allow him to complete that assignment. You know, those about close to 2 years into his administration, he passed on, and then Jonathan had to complete that administration, and then Jonathan continued with the policy and all of it. But if you look at the circumstances that brought, you know, Jonathan into power, you could see that even for that 2 years, he could not do anything because he needed to first of all stabilize, find his feet as president. There were so many politicking and all of those things. You know, he came into power with what is now known in Nigeria as the doctrine of necessity. So he tried. And then when he got the mandate, when he contested in 2011, he tried to put some things in place. But, you know, there were the accusation of high level of corruption during his tenure. And don't forget about this, is out there in the public domain, that we had a minister of petroleum in the person of Alison Dejiani Madeke, who was the minister of petroleum, who has been accused of the great high-handedness with the Nigerian cash cow, which is the oil industry, the NPC, siphoning money. She's living like now. She has a citizenship and a land. She has even been honored with an honor with one of these Dominican countries, Caribbean countries. So, and this thing has come. So, we are very good, like I said, at policy formulation. You see people come up with brilliant, oh, this is the way it's done. And Nigerians are now saying that, oh, look, Nigeria is a copy and paste country. Those, oh, this thing is working in America, they will just go there, look at it, copy it, come, and this, okay, let's just do it. When you don't understand that the Nigerian economy is not like the American economy. Now, we are talking about startups and, you know, entrepreneurship, young investors, and all of those things. But if you look at these young people, a lot of young people are trying to save to start up company, but how do they run this company? One, you need power. The power situation in Nigeria is very, very critical. Just about yesterday, you know, I was discussing with some colleagues at the editorial meeting when we had a we now talk about power sector and how the whole thing is going on. Discover that when the federal government decided to unbundle the power sector, they sold some of the equity, now retaining some to the private investors who are the people that bought into the Nigerian power sector. It's the same cronies, you know, or the same cabal who bought into it. Now, they acquire this thing, both liability and asset, but they don't want to take the liability. Now, they are calling for federal government to take the liability, and then you just want to enjoy the assets and then take money from people. So, how do you want people to survive? American citizens are surviving because there is a process in place for them. The government knows what they do. The government of Donald Trump have always said that, look, they think of Americans first. And that is why you see them. And he has lived to that. So before any other person, let's talk America for. But in Nigeria, no, rather, Nigerian government, particularly this government, they give credence to even foreigners rather than the citizens.
Okay,
we have the cabotage.
I have to come in there. I have to quickly come in there. I want to say, yes, I have to cut you quickly and say a very big thank you for your time today. Unfortunately, we have to go, and I can tell you that we will definitely be talking to you again next week, talking about in-depth analysis of the political issues we have in Nigeria as we speak. I also want us to look at, next week, I also want us to look at the resume of the people that were selected to head the employment body employment tables in the country, talking about the Minister of Labor, Productivity. We're looking at for the state and for the nation as we speak. We also look at the critical credentials of the president in terms of economic does really understand what economics is all about. And of course we also look at why states like Lagos will definitely flourish, and other states like Osun State, Kaduna State, Sokoto State, Zamfara State. Let's look at those policies that stops other states from developing as we speak as well. Then we'll also be looking at the internal revenue generation of this state and the country as a whole. Altogether, holistically, we will be talking more about all of this. And again, we'll also try much as possible to look at the life of a job seeker, the prospect of being a graduate, and what exactly, if you definitely can go into the university, spend 4 or 5 years, and you're out of the university, what are the expectations, what are the survivor elements for you to survive in such environment as well. All this we will talk come next week as well. But I must say a very big thank you to you, Daniel Nazi, for creating time out to talk to us on the Job Show International. Thank you so much, and we definitely hope that we will be talking more next week on the show. Thank you so much, Dan, and I hope to talk to you again. Bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And of course, we are still on the Job Show International. I definitely need to go right now. But before we go, we definitely need to have a recap of what we've talked about in terms of the opportunities screen on your screen right now. Of course, you have the opportunity to apply if you are in Kenya. You can apply as a country lead in Kenya. Then you can also apply as economic community engagement support worker in Australia as we speak. If you are interested, you can also take your application straight to Brooklyn in New York and apply as a farmer market operator. And of course, we have the HR and operations manager in Brooklyn in New York. We also have the foundation relation manager as well in New York if you are interested. You have the career pathway navigator also in Brooklyn, New York, and all of this comes with good package benefit paid off. We also have the insurance delta and all of that that comes with your benefit if you are applying for these opportunities. Management assistant in the Netherlands is also available for you to apply. And of course, we're talking about Africa Director, Horn of Africa in Kuambu County in Kenya as well. In Kenya, they are seeking for carbon manager as well in Kenya, in Kuambu County in Kenya. All of these opportunities is absolutely for you. The informations are scrolling on your screen, and of course I need you to share my links and of course give all this information to friends and families. We'll be giving you opportunities to be part of it as well. You can send a mail to me if you have an opportunity to give to everybody, and of course you can also reach me at any of the social media platforms. We will be here talking to you more about jobs and jobs. My name is Abimbola Adewale, and it's the Job Show International. Remember, when you earn every day or every week or every month, you definitely have the power to save. You can definitely spend 40% of what you earn and make sure you keep 60% of what you earn for that day that you will become an entrepreneur or have a major issue to do a bigger investment. Every job is always a pattern. I'll see you next week. Bye.